Okay, so last questions here. So two functions are defined as follows. Use the functions to answer the questions below. So find the value of f of 1.2. So all we really need to do here is find the f function, which is this one, e to the power of 9x. And in the place of x, we need to put the 1.2. So we literally pop that in there. We get an answer of this. Now, it says you want to put it in standard form. Now, all of this stuff that's written there is scientific notation. So the long story short, you need to make this a number. So this one, you need to make this a number between 1 and 10. So in other words, you move the decimal point into that position. Now, if you do that, you then multiply always by 10. That's just the formation, always by 10. And then the number here should represent how many times you've moved the decimal point. So in our case, we moved it 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's a 4. It also says we're correcting to one decimal place. So my final answer is 4.9 multiplied by 10 to the power of 4. So that was worth 5 marks. G of x equals 3.5. So this time you're going to let it equals to 3.5. So you take your g of x, which is your natural log of the root of x, and you let it equal to 3.5. Now, your root, is going to be power of a half. 5. We can move over the half to the other side. So natural log of x is equal to 3.5 divided by a half. That gives me the natural log of x is equal to 7. Now remember, the natural log of x is really the log of x to the base e. So if I do my snail on that to extract the x, I do e to the power of 7 is equal to x. Now the question actually says to give your answer in the form e to the power of p. So that's exactly what we've done. So essentially p is 7. Now I gave that 10 marks. Then it says write this function. So this is g after f of x. So it means start with f of x and put it into g. Now, if I start with f and there's nothing to fill in, well, then what I do is I fill f into g because there is no number to fill in. So when I go to write g, instead of saying the square root of x, I'm going to fill this in. So that goes in there. Now, after that goes in there, I'm going to change that root to power of a half. So essentially that is e to the power of 4.5x. We then can bring the power to the front, 4.5x natural log of e. Now remember, the natural